The last thing she wrote in her journal before calling the police was 4 words: "He knows I'm home." She hadn't been robbed. She hadn't been hurt. Nothing had technically happened to her. And yet for 23 days, a stranger had been sitting outside her house, watching her lights, timing her movements, learning everything about her life from the inside of a parked car, and she had no idea until she did. What I'm about to tell you is a real account. The details have been changed for privacy, but the events themselves are exactly as they were described. Her exact words were, "Tell them it starts with something they'll think is nothing. Tell them that's the point." It started with a car parked outside her house for 3 weeks. This is not a ghost story. There is nothing supernatural here. That's what makes it worse. By the end of this, you will know exactly what to look for. You will know exactly what she missed, and why she missed it, and what finally made her see it. And I genuinely hope I mean this, that you never need to use any of it. But just in case, stay with me. Here's how it begins. Her name is Claire. She's 34 years old. She lives alone in a mid-terrace house in a quiet, residential area, the kind of neighborhood where everyone knows roughly who lives where, but nobody really talks. She works from home mostly, graphic design, so she's in the house a lot. She told me the first time she noticed the car, it was a Tuesday morning. She was in her kitchen making coffee, standing by the window the way she always does, just staring out at nothing, letting her mind wake up slowly. And there it was, a dark blue Ford Mondeo, older model, parked directly across the road from her front door. She didn't think anything of it. Why would she? Wednesday, she notices it again, still there, same spot. She figures maybe it belongs to someone visiting a neighbor. Maybe it broke down. Maybe someone works nights and just parks there. Thursday, Friday, the weekend, still there. Now, here's the thing about the human brain, and this is genuinely important. So stay with me. We are wired to normalize things. We see something often enough, and our mind just files it away, labels it safe, labels it part of the background. It's a survival mechanism. It's also, occasionally, a dangerous flaw. Claire's brain filed the car away by day 5. It became wallpaper. It was on day 11 that something shifted. She can't explain why. She said it was like, you know when you're reading, and your brain suddenly realizes you've been staring at a word for too long and it stops looking like a word anymore. It was the opposite of that. Like suddenly the car became more real, more present. She was sitting at her desk upstairs, working, and she just stopped and looked out the window and thought, that car has been there for 11 days. Then she did something that changed everything. She wrote down the number plate. She doesn't know why. She said it wasn't fear yet. It was just an itch. A small, uncomfortable itch in the back of her mind. So she grabbed her phone, zoomed in on the camera, and wrote the number plate in the Notes app. Then she went back to work. But that night, she couldn't sleep. She lay in bed staring at the ceiling and found herself thinking, who owns that car? Why is it always there? Why does it never move? And more importantly, why does it park exactly opposite my front door? There are other spaces. There are always other spaces on that road. Day 12. She decides to observe. She positions herself at her upstairs window, curtain barely open, and she watches the car for 20 minutes in the morning. Nothing. No movement. No one gets in. No one gets out. She checks at lunch. Still there. Checks at 4 p.m. Still there. At 6:45 in the evening, she sees something. The driver's side window. It moves. Not the door. Not the whole window. Just the top edge. Like someone inside had reached up and cracked it open. Just a centimeter. Just enough. Just enough to breathe. Someone had been sitting in that car all day, watching. She stepped back from the window, heart hammering. She told herself she imagined it. Told herself she was being paranoid. But she didn't go back to the window that night. She locked every door. Checked every lock twice. and she slept with the light on for the first time since she was 7 years old. She had no idea the car wasn't just watching the house. It was watching her schedule. Here's what Claire only pieced together later, much later. When she went back through her own phone's camera roll, looking at times, every single time she left the house in those 3 weeks to go to the shop, to visit her mom, to pick up a parcel, the car was gone. And every single time she came home, it was back, within an hour. Let that sink in for a moment, because when I first heard this, I thought maybe coincidence. Maybe the person just has an unusual schedule that happens to line up. But Claire had a 2-week record, 14 days of timestamps she hadn't even realized she'd been keeping. Accidental photos, location pins, texts to friends. The overlap was almost perfect. Whoever was in that car knew her routine better than she did. And here's what terrifies me most about that. Think about what that means. That means they had been watching long before she ever noticed the car. The 3 weeks she was aware of, that might have been just the surface. How long had they been learning her? A month? 2 months? The whole time she'd been living there. She decided to find out who owned the car. What she found made her go cold. She called a friend, a guy she'd known since uni, works in insurance, has access to vehicle registration databases through his job. She sent him the plate number she'd saved. He called back 20 minutes later, and the first thing he said was Claire. This car was reported stolen 8 months ago. A stolen car. Whoever was sitting in that car watching her house, tracking her schedule, cracking the window just enough to breathe, was doing it in a vehicle that couldn't be traced back to them. This wasn't random. This wasn't a coincidence. This was deliberate, she told herself. Stay calm, call the police. But when the police came, they said there was nothing they could do. You can't arrest someone for sitting in a car. 2 officers came round. She showed them her notes, the times, the stolen vehicle report. She explained everything, the pattern, the window. The fact that the car disappeared whenever she left and returned when she did. One officer looked genuinely concerned. The other one, and I'm not saying all police are like this, I want to be clear, but the other one looked at her the way people look at someone they've already decided is overreacting, he said. There's no law against parking on a public road, love. He did say they'd run the plate and confirm the stolen vehicle status. They noted it down. They told her to call back if anything escalated. Escalated, that word, as if what she'd already described wasn't enough. That night, Claire sat alone in her house, double-bolted house, and she made a decision. If the system wouldn't protect her, she was going to get evidence that they couldn't ignore. She ordered a motion sensor room cam from Amazon. Next day, delivery. She pointed it out of her bedroom window, angled at the street. And then she waited. On night 2, the camera captured something that stopped her breathing. The timestamp on the footage is 3:17 in the morning. The street is completely empty. No foot traffic. No other cars moving. The only light is from the street lamp 20 meters down the road. At 3:17 and 42 seconds, the door of the dark blue car opens. A figure gets out. Claire described it to me like this, she said. He moved like someone who knew no one was watching, not sneaky, not rushed, completely comfortable, like he'd done it 1,000 times. He stood on the pavement, and he looked directly at her house, not the street, not around, directly at her house. For 1 minute and 20 seconds, she counted. He just stood there, looking. Then he got back in the car, closed the door, and the street was still again. Claire said she watched that footage 11 times. Each time she got to the moment where he turned and faced the house. She felt the same thing. She said it wasn't fear exactly, she said. It was like being seen by something that shouldn't be able to see you. Like being looked at through a one-way mirror you thought was protecting you. She took the footage to the police. This time things moved fast, but not fast enough. The footage changed everything legally. The stolen vehicle confirmation, combined with video evidence of a person surveilling a residential property at 3 a.m., suddenly it was a credible threat. They opened an investigation. They put the street on an alert list. They advised her not to stay in the house alone. She went to her mother's 2 nights. When she came back, the car was gone, and in its place, left on her front doorstep, was a single photograph. The photograph had been taken at night. From across the road, it showed the front of her house. Her bedroom window lit up from inside, and in the window, her silhouette, standing there, looking out. She recognized the night immediately. It was the night she'd been standing at the curtain watching the car. While she had been watching him, he had been photographing her. She hadn't seen the camera. She hadn't seen the flash. She had stood there thinking she was the one observing. And the entire time, she was the one being documented. The message wasn't accidental. It was deliberate. It was a message that said, I can see you. I've always been able to see you, and now you know it. The police forensics team processed the photograph, handled it properly. They found nothing useful on the surface. It had been printed at a self-service kiosk, the kind you find in pharmacies. Anonymous, untraceable. But it told them something important. This person wasn't impulsive. They weren't acting on instinct or rage. They were calculated, patient, organized. The profile they built, Claire gave me permission to share this, described a stalker, with a fixation that had likely been developing for months, someone who derived satisfaction not from direct contact, but from proximity, from knowing, from the power of watching someone who didn't know they were watched, until she noticed the car. And the moment she noticed, the dynamic changed. He knew his cover was partially blown, and instead of retreating, he escalated. They caught him. But how they caught him, and what they found, is the part of the story that I still can't fully process. He lived 4 streets away. He had lived there for 2 years. He and Claire had never met, never had a single interaction that either of them could identify. He had, apparently, seen her through the window of a cafe, just once. And something had shifted for him, and he had followed her home. And then he had begun to study her. When they searched his property, they found records going back 7 months, handwritten logs, observation diaries. He had noted what she was wearing when she left the house, what time she returned, whether she had guests, whether her bedroom light went off early or late. 7 months of her life, documented by a stranger, without her knowledge, without her consent. 7 months of feeling safe in her own home, completely, devastatingly false. He was charged with stalking. The case went through the courts. He is no longer free. And Claire is okay. She moved house. She has a dog now. She has a security system that would wake the whole street. She is careful in the way that people who've been through something like this are always careful, not paranoid, she told me. Just awake. I'm just awake now, she said. I notice things. What you should take from this. I want to end this with something practical, because that's what Claire asked me to do. She didn't share her story to frighten you. She shared it to make you just a little more awake. So here's what I want you to hold on to. If a vehicle is parked near your home and it seems to be there more than it should be, note the plate. Just note it. Takes 10 seconds. If you ever feel like something is off, if your gut sends a signal that your brain hasn't caught up with yet, trust it. The brain catches up. The gut already knows. If you ever feel watched, observed, or followed, document everything. Timestamps, photos, notes. Evidence matters. And if someone tells you that you're overreacting, remember that. Claire was almost told the same thing. She wasn't overreacting. She was right. I want to say one more thing. We share these stories not to make you afraid of the world outside. The world is mostly good. Most parked cars are just parked cars. Most strangers are just strangers. But awareness is not paranoia. Awareness is a skill. And if Claire's story sharpens yours, even a little, then she did what she set out to do. Stay safe, stay awake. And if anything ever feels wrong, it's always worth a second look. If this story got under your skin, if you found yourself looking out your window halfway through, then you already know that the most terrifying things are never the ones that can't happen. They're the ones that can. Every week on this channel, we share real accounts, real events, things that happen to real people in ordinary daily life. The kind of things that never make the national news but never leave the people who lived through them. If you want to hear more, and I promise you, what's coming next is even harder to explain away, hit subscribe, press the bell. Every single story we share could be the one that makes the difference for someone. That someone could be you. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.